The top mindset tools that helped increase our sales in our birth and baby business. Hi, my name's Liz Stanford and I'm one half of Baba Business, the Birth and Baby Business Academy.
And my name's Anna Lagrange and I'm the other half of Baba Business, which is a community membership for birth and baby business owners who want to turn their passion into profit. So this is an exciting one, talking about mindset tools and what we've used, because we're huge fans of these. We've talked about this quite a lot on the podcast, but I think it'd be really nice to perhaps pick our favourite ones that we've used the most, the ones that really made our businesses jump and, make huge strides, brought in customers, that kind of thing. So what's your number one?
Yeah, well, I think I should sort of pre-frame this a little bit, that because we're talking about sales, but we're mainly focusing on the mindset stuff, is that I've never really had much of an issue with selling. But I know a lot of people find it very, very difficult. So I just think it's really important to acknowledge that that's really quite normal. I think all my family are in sales, so it's never felt strange to me to sell something to somebody. But if you are feeling really kind of like icky or negative about it, a really good tip that I recommend to any of my instructors or, any of our members at Baba is to really focus on the transformation that a client doing your offering or your course or your class is going to experience. And if you can just reframe it a little bit, rather than like, oh, I've got something that, they might like and they've got to pay me money for it, turn it into, I have got this amazing thing which is going to help them achieve or create or become X, Y, or Z. Think about the outcome and really focus in on that. And then, unless you're actually going to get out there and sell, you're depriving those people of having and experiencing that transformation. So that's the reframe that I always put on it. And maybe that's what stops me from feeling a bit icky about it. And I think that really helps. So that would be my first mindset tool, is to reframe how you feel about selling and really go in on the transformation. I mean, journal on it, like go deep on how your clients are going to feel once they have actually experienced what it is that you have to offer them.
And when you're journaling on it, like really feel into it as well, like feel the emotions that come up for you, how excited you feel, or how like you feel like you've achieved something. You might feel pride, whatever it is, and really like try and embody that and experience those feelings, because we know that makes a big difference, don't we?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think my number one, because I am not from a background of sales or from anyone who, I'm definitely from the sales are so uncomfortable kind of, place. So for me, it has got to be money mindset, like money conditioning, money stories, how you feel about money. Because if we have, and I think this is so common for people who work in the birth and baby world, and also really common for women, that we often have lots of stories and have been told lots of things about women asking for money, women having money, women or even the helping, that helping services should be free. They shouldn't be paid for.
Yeah.
I hear it all the time in the breastfeeding world. And of course, in an ideal world, healthcare for everyone would be free, and it would be at an amazing standard that gave everybody what they need and want. But we've got to remember, even in services that are free, like the NHS, the people who are in those services, they still get paid. They get paid pretty well, for what they do. So I think, we have a lot of work as individuals to do to get ourselves in a place where we're able to sell comfortably. And, that is just ongoing work. If you're a business owner and you recognize some of the things I was talking about, if you feel uncomfortable about talking about money or asking for a sale or sharing your services or charging or even pricing, you are not going to get over that unless you start looking at your views and beliefs on money and income. And that is, it really is ongoing work, especially if you come from some of those beliefs that I was talking about that I have had in the past.
100%. That is such a good point, definitely. And just because I think that selling is quite normal and it's like totally happy to do it, doesn't mean that I don't have like their money mindset issues, because that's like they're connected, but they're also like different issues, and both are things that really need to work on to like collectively, make those sales. So, 100%. The other thing I used to really focus on when I was primarily teaching hypnobirthing and looking to fill like my groups and my one-to-one client slots is affirmations. And I've probably said this before, but like I was so into it. So I had this massive A3 sticky note in my ensuite bathroom at the time in the house that we lived in, and it had very specific affirmations about my group courses and my private courses. Like I can't remember exactly what it was now, or something like I am filling every group that that I try to fill, or something like that. I don't know. That's a rubbish one. It wasn't that. It was
something better, but on long.
Something better than that. Don't use that one. It was something better than that. So it was. It was very focused on bringing people into my group. And I used to have a shower like every morning and kind of stand there and look through like the shower wall, whatever it is, door, and just like focus on those affirmations and just say them in my mind. And they really, really did help. They really helped me to be very open to being capable of doing that. And it also spurred me on to take the action to actually fill those places as well. Because I was in that mindset. Of like, I'm going to fill my group. And, so I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So if you're listening and you haven't tried affirmations, do a better job than the one I just gave out. But it's definitely worth having a go. And you can actually download our freebie, which is the Baba Rituals, which will help you to create some affirmations.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next one I was going to share was sort of similar to that. So probably my favorite mindset tool, the one that has really made my business make the huge leaps, other than like going on retreat or something like that and having a massive immersive experience. It is the tool that is the most powerful me is future self journaling, where you put yourself in the future and you write a page of something you want to achieve. So I have spoken about this on the podcast before, but when I was writing my book, I found writing the Mindful Breastfeeding book like a really difficult process. I found there was a lot of stuff came up for me. You've been through it as well, so it's just it's, unless you've done it, it's hard to explain, but it brings up a lot of stuff for you writing a book that's going to be out there in the world. And so I found the process a lot harder than I thought I would. And the thing that really helped me was I wrote about my book launch in a journal form. I only did it once, but I just really got into it, tuned into it. I said where I wanted to have the book launch. I said at that point I didn't even have an illustrator, so I even named this person. I would have loved to have my illustrator. And I wrote out this whole thing. And then 2 years later, it happened exactly as I had written, like even to the details. And I don't know. I just think once I'd done that process and I'd really felt into it and tuned into how I wanted to feel and more importantly, how I wanted others to feel, how I wanted people to receive the book, this kind of celebration of it that I wanted to have, working with this particular person, all of those things. Once I'd put it into this diary format, if you like, in the present tense, in the future tense, but I wrote it in the present tense as if it was happening now. I just think then I just took the steps, and I think there's a bit of probably like manifesting like spiritual stuff there as well. Like I'd put this idea out into the universe, and then I was just attracted to that, or that attracted to me, one or the other, and it just happened, and it felt like magic to me. And it's something that I use. I don't use it a lot because almost sometimes the magic of it scares me a little bit, I'll be honest with you. But when I do use it every now and again, I do find it really, really works. And it's actually backed up in science as well. There's quite a few studies into future self-journaling in that it really helps people to meet their goals and, feel more, have more achievements in life, feel more pride for themselves, and improve their well-being overall. So this isn't just some sort of, like you might feel a lot of manifestation stuff is. It is about, the actual setting a goal and then journaling about it, journaling in the future. It does really have a scientific base to it. So even if you don't necessarily believe in it, or if you're thinking, yeah, right, Anna, how could that be? How could it be that simple? Just try it for fun. Do you know what I mean? Just why not give it a go?
It is fun.
Yeah. So I highly recommend that, and I definitely think that's my most powerful tool, and that's the one that's really made things come true, or helped things come true that I didn't really believe were possible. I hoped they would be possible, but I didn't really 100% believe in them. So yeah, I think that's a big one, and that's related to sales, in that if you want to fill a class, or you want to you want to create this new service, or maybe you want to open your own venue. We were recording a podcast with somebody who's opened their own swimming pools, which was just blew my mind. You know what I mean? If you want to do something big in your business and you feel like, wow, I'm so far from that, I've only just started, just start on this process of writing affirmations, visualizing it, believing in it, or writing about it in the future, and it's going to make you act differently when it comes to sales, because you've got this goal. And I think actually this new podcast series that we've got coming out, interviewing people, that is like a running theme of people who've done big things in the birth and baby world. It is this inner belief, this real belief that even though their idea seemed really out there, it felt scary, it was like, can I do this? The reason they did it was because they held on to that belief. And I think all of them, they didn't say this specifically, but they probably all did have mindset tools and certain rituals and things that they did to help build their belief in it and make it happen.
Yeah, definitely. It's so, so powerful. And if you're listening to this and you haven't got any of these tools in your back pocket, then, give it a go. Honestly, it's not going to hurt. It's only going to help. So I'll give my last one before we head off will be gratitude journaling as well, writing out your gratitudes, because it's one with sales. What we find that people can get is quite anxious and quite worked up. Like if they're kind of, oh, I want this many sales, and then if they don't get that many sales, they kind of find themselves in a bit of a funk, or like, oh, I haven't achieved what I set out to achieve. But if you can do gratitude journaling around what it is that you have created or you have achieved so far, or the clients you do have or you have had, then that really that sort of just totally changes your vibe and your energy and your approach. So let's say that you've got you're looking to get like 4 couples on a group, or you're looking to get a group of 5 mums and babies in your class, or whatever it is. And let's say you've only got 1 client booked on that sort of group or that term so far. Then really focus in on the gratitude around that client. I'm so grateful that Louise has booked onto my my term of classes, and then write down everything that Louise is going to achieve from being with you. I'm so grateful that I get to spend time with her and her baby, or her and her partner. I'm so grateful that I get to help prepare them if you're preparing them for birth, or I'm so grateful I get to help her breastfeed her baby. Really zone in on the feelings and the gratitude around the clients that you do have or you have had in the past, and it just changes how you show up, and you're more likely to woo-woo again, but it's not woo-woo, more likely to energetically bring more people your way and into your classes.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think my last point on this is about consistency, in that you need to do this stuff a lot. You need to make these rituals. That's why we call them the rituals, because this isn't something, I'm just going to do it once a month. You really need to build in a practice of this, all of the tools we've talked about now, not all at once, but just so that it becomes an everyday thing as much as you can, especially when you're trying to sell something, when you've got a new offer in. You need to become a little bit obsessed with it. and not just in the actions that you're taking while talking to people and sharing as much as possible, but using the mindset tools to help grow your confidence, to get over all those blocks, to keep going, if you like, when you're perhaps you feel like you're not going to reach your goal. All of these things are going to help you. So the more that you can build them in to your practice, the better it's going to do. And we do it for each other. We're always reminding ourselves, when we're struggling with one thing or another, go off and do this, or and this is your reminder, if you're listening, to just make these rituals a part of your everyday life. And like Liz said earlier, we have got a freebie on this, so go and check that out. The link is going to be in the notes, and have a go and build it up, and let us know how you get on as well.
Yeah, definitely. And watch out for that series that Anna mentioned earlier. So we have a new podcast series coming, which is called Lessons from a Birth and Baby Business Owner. And you should see the lineup. We have got some amazing, established, successful, inspiring, influential birth and baby business owners that we've already interviewed, and lots more set up to come. So there's so much to learn from these podcast episodes coming up. Like it's going to blow your socks off. So watch out for that. Some more details will be coming soon, so you know when that is going to drop. But for now, thanks for listening or watching. And if you enjoyed it, please drop a comment on YouTube. If you're listening on the podcast, please like, subscribe. We'd love it if you leave a review as well. And have a lovely day.